What's going on, Diary Gang? It's your girl Creole Kisses coming back with the latest hip-hop topics. Let's get right into it. So it's been reported that notorious drug lord turned federal witness Alpo Martinez was gunned down by a killer who opened fire on his truck on a Harlem street Sunday morning around 3:20 a.m. It's been reported that the 55-year-old was behind the wheel of his Dodge Ram on Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 152nd Street when several gunshots went through his driver's side window. They're reporting that he was hit in the chest and also hit in the arm, and when officers arrived, he was gasping for air. They took him to the hospital and couldn't save him. He did pass away at the hospital. So for those of you who are not familiar with Mr. Alpo Martinez, I'll give you a little history. He was portrayed by rapper and actor Cameron in the 2002 film Paid in Full, which was based on the criminal exploits of Martinez himself, AZ Fazan, and Rich Porter. He's also been referenced in several hip-hop and rap songs. He rose to prominence in the mid-'80s. In addition to New York, Martinez expanded his drug trade to other cities, notably in Washington, D.C. Martinez was released in 2015 while serving a 35-year sentence for 14 counts of murder at ADX Florence, which is a federal supermax prison located in Fremont County, Colorado. He was then released after testifying against former associates and has since been living under a United States Witness Protection Program. So if you go check out Paid in Full, Martinez started selling drugs at 13 years old in East Harlem. He had met West Side Harlem drug dealer AZ Fazan. He started to move up the chain of drug dealers in Harlem and eventually became one of the biggest drug dealers in the city. He later had moved to Washington, D.C. to expand his operations, where he quickly became involved in the city's underworld and elevated his drug activities. He met Wayne Silk Perry, a notorious gangster and DC enforcer who would later become his bodyguard and his hitman. Okay, so Alpo Martinez, he murdered his business partner and best friend by notoriously shooting him to death in 1990. Okay, Rich Porter is his name. And when the family found out about Alpo Martinez being murdered yesterday morning, they celebrated in the streets of Harlem with champagne. And one of the family members stated, "We waited a long time for this day to come, and we're happy. That's why we're out here celebrating, drinking champagne." And this was actually his 37-year-old niece, Porter, that is. She goes on to state, "Everybody's reaction right now is celebrating. It's a celebration for Harlem, period. Not even my family." So, further on in the reports, they say that Martinez's truck rear-ended another motorist who told police that he heard the shots but didn't see what happened. The Dodge Ram that Alpo was in crashed into 3 parked cars by West 147th Street. When word of his demise started spreading in the neighborhood throughout Sunday, a lot of the neighbors were shocked. Somebody said Alpo finally got caught slipping. They shot him in the effing face. They finally got that rat. And someone else said, "I don't want anyone to be hurt." And she said, "But if you hear the whole situation with Alpo, it's like, now y'all getting to it." A group of about 6 people believed to be Alpo's relatives, they showed up at the scene. One person said, "No, God, why?" as she collapsed into the hood of his car crying. And one of the guys in the group said, "Are you MFers happy now?" It was just a whole all-out crazy situation. So I'd advise you guys to go see Paid in Full. It'll give you, those who are not familiar with the story, it'll give you the whole breakdown of the history of Alpo Martinez, Rich Porter, and what happened during that time in the mid-'80s and the drug gang up into the '90s. Go ahead and check that out. and give y'all thoughts. I'm gonna leave you with a couple of videos. I'm gonna leave a video of him admitting to murdering his so-called best friend, business partner, why he did it. I'll play that and also a couple of other videos. Y'all check it out. Leave your thoughts on this whole crazy situation, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Bye.
2,500 calls this morning stating Alpo the rat been dead. A couple of people asked me, did you kill him? Did you smoke? Nah, I ain't smoked that rat.
And once he got to the van, I knew I had to lock. I locked the doors. And as I was pulling off, I was asking him. I was meeting Rich that night, and I pulled up right here. He got into the van. He got into the van right here. And once he got to the van, I knew I had to lock. I locked the doors. And as I was pulling off, I was asking him. Because it didn't take long after I pulled off. I was asking him, like, yo, Rich, where did you get that coat from? That shit was good, because I wanted to make him comfortable. That shit was good as a motherfucker. He's like, I got it from my connect. So, yeah. So, from there, I knew he was lying. I turned to my little man. I gave him the nod. Once I gave him the nod, my little man spent, because he was short, so he could stand up in the van. Next thing you heard was the 2 gunshots, bang, bang. Richard slumped over. And it happened. It happened right here. It happened right here. This light. At this light, it happened. I'm saying, in my mind, I'm saying to my little man, yo, he's dead. He's done it. He just got hit with a 357. Twice. The only sound I heard was, him releasing his breath. His last breath. So I'm assuming that he's dead. And I need to find a place to put his, leave his body without anyone seeing me and seeing the van or just, so the only place I can think of and just driving it's so funny. I'm saying City Island, but I'm not even sure if I wanted City Island, but I just knew I wanted to get off the streets and get onto a highway.
How did you feel? Was you mad? Was you angry? Like, what was going on in your head?
I was very mad. I just killed a nigga that I loved, a nigga that I was getting money with, a nigga that I called my brother. We kept driving this way, and until I could find a remote spot to leave the body. Go around this turn right here. Right. Yeah, loop it real quick. It was somewhere over here.